Double your retirement income by performing a strategic rollout. In this educational video episode, I'm going to explain and answer the question, how much can $500,000 generate in retirement income? You'd be surprised how many times I've been asked this question, or it could be a million, but get ready, it all depends. So I'm Doug Andrew. I've been a financial strategist and retirement planning specialist now for more than 48 years, helping thousands of people prepare for a comfortable retirement so that they will hopefully not outlive their money. And so when people would come to me, usually 5 years or maybe sooner than their planned retirement date, I would look at their situation, because at retirement planning is something totally different than maybe what you did for your retirement planning. And I found that oftentimes people were just sort of following the herd, putting money into the company's tax-deferred IRA, 401k plan or whatever, thinking they would be in a lower tax bracket when they retired. And if they were savers, lo and behold, they were not in lower tax brackets. In fact, they were in as high or higher tax brackets as they were during their earning years, and this shocked them. And I would often look at their nest egg and say, were you planning your retirement or Uncle Sam's? And I would show them that if they continue to defer at the advice of their current advisor or their accountant, and defer if they didn't need the money until they were age 72, and then take out RMDs, required minimum distributions, thinking they're saving tax, I would show them with my unique software how much they would end up paying in tax by stringing that out during their life expectancy, their spouse's life expectancy, and then being passed down to their children, because the children have to pay tax on it within 10 years now. The children can't inherit an IRA or 401k and keep it till they retire. They have to pay the tax. The government wants that money out in tax. And so they began to realize, wow, I didn't realize that I would be in a higher tax bracket. Well, it's because many of these people had been sort of killing their tax deductions along the way. And you pay off your house, hopefully. And so you don't have that interest deduction. During retirement, you're not contributing money to IRAs or 401ks. You don't have that deduction. If you're a business owner, you don't have that deduction. Your kids are gone, or if they're not gone, you can't deduct them anymore as dependents, right? And Congress keeps raising taxes because of irresponsible government spending and the printing of money. So most Americans agree that taxes in the future will not likely be lower. Many understand they won't be the same. The vast majority of Americans believe taxes in the future will likely be higher. So why do we get duped into continuing to defer, procrastinate, paying tax in our IRAs or 401ks to some future perceived unknown advantage, and then we're going to withdraw the money at higher tax rates? That does not make sense. This is why people would come to me at retirement, and I would illustrate a strategic rollout. This is where you're strategically getting money out of those IRAs or 401ks, getting the taxes over done with sooner than later, and then reposition it into something that's going to be tax-free from now on, and actually earn rates of return perhaps double or triple what the money in IRAs or 401ks will generate based upon actual market performance for retirees. So let me summarize all of this as we talk about my favorite vehicle, which I call the Laser Fund. Laser is an acronym that stands for Liquid Asset Safely Earning Returns. What is a Laser Fund? It is a properly structured, maximum funded indexed universal life insurance policy where you're taking the least amount of insurance the IRS will let you get away with, and you're putting in the most money the IRS allows as fast as they allow. And I've been able to earn average rates of return of 9.62% during the last 42 years. Many 20-year periods, I've earned a little over 11%, netting over 10%. So I earn 11, I net 10. That 1% is the cost of the insurance that the IRS has to be there in order for it to be tax-free. but I'd rather earn 11 and net 10, which on $1 million nest egg will generate $100,000 a year of tax-free income, than have my money in a mutual fund where I would have to earn 15%, which is rare. I mean, I'd have to take a lot of risks to earn 15, and after paying tax in a 33% bracket to net 10. I don't want to do that. In fact, most people in mutual funds, if they bought and held, would only earn 9. You earn 9 and you pay tax of a third, you're only netting 6. Would you like to be earning 9% average during a volatile market and only net 6 or 60,000 to buy gas and groceries out of $1 million nest egg? Or would you rather have, 100,000 a year of tax-free income? So when people would come to me and they'll ask the question, hey, how much retirement income can I take if I have $500,000? Now, you know what is so amusing to me is many times they will ask the question, so how much income can I take? And I go, well, how much do you think you can take? Or how much do you need? And many times they'll say, well, I would like to take 100,000 a year. Well, where do you have the 500,000 right now? And if they told me, well, it's in a bank or credit union, I'd go, oh dear. Well, you're only earning 1%, and that's going to be taxed. And so, listen, you're not even keeping up with inflation. Just simply take 100,000 and divide it into your 500,000. Hello, this is simple division. You're going to have an income for 5 years, a little over 5 years, and the 500,000 is going to be drained dry. Oh, well, I thought with interest, it would last a lot longer. I'm going at 1%. Well, if you do the math, even if you're earning 10%, 10% on 500,000 is 50,000. If you're pulling out 100,000, you're going to deplete that nest egg in less than 10 years. Just do the math. You can put it in any calculator and you'll realize, So for example, many times people will say, well, how much could $1 million generate? And I'll say, well, where do you have it? Well, I feel like I can earn 10%. Well, let's assume that. But if that's 10% in a tax-deferred IRA or 401k, and you have $1 million nest egg, how much money do you want to withdraw? Well, I need 100,000 a year. Okay, so you pull out 100,000 out of $1 million nest egg, earning 10%. So 10% on $1 million is 100 grand. So I shouldn't deplete the million, right? I go, well, you said you need 100,000. Was that net or gross? Well, I need 100,000 to buy gas and groceries, prescriptions, golf green fees. Well, you're in a 33% combined federal and state income tax bracket. You have to pull out 50% more when you're in a 33% bracket. And they go, how do you figure? I go, okay. In a 33% tax bracket, you have to pull out 50% more. You have to withdraw 150,000 out of that $1 million nest egg. You pay tax of a third on 150. What's a third of 150? 50. To net 100,000 to buy gas and groceries. So do the math. If you pull out 150,000 to net 100,000 to live on, that $1 million nest egg will be gone, drained dry in 11 years. Wow. You mean if I retired at age 65, I'm out of money at age 76. I go, yep, you're going to be relying on Social Security, welfare, charity, or your children for support. If you have to pull out 150,000 to net 100. Well, what if I just tighten my belt and I pull out 100? Well, then in a 25% tax bracket, you're only going to net 75,000. Now, what about inflation? Oh, I forgot about inflation. Well, inflation at 5% is going to double the cost of living in 14.4 years. But inflation, as of the recording of this episode, is double digit. At 10%, the cost of living will double in 7.2 years. So in 7.2 years, you're going to need to pull out $200,000 out of your IRAs or 401ks to net $150,000 in a 25% bracket, because you're going to need twice as much money. You're going to need $150,000 to buy the same gallons of gas and loaves of bread that $75,000 buys today. And your nest egg will be gone really quick. So this is what I call the tax and inflation power curve. Taxes and inflation cause most nest eggs to deplete before you do. It causes most IRAs or 401ks to die before you do. This is what causes a lot of people to outlive their money. And then the third danger they don't even think about, and that's market volatility. And when the market starts going down 30 and 40% like it does sometimes, they get scared, they panic. If they have to take out the income, their nest egg depletes really fast. So when we answer the question, how much will $500,000 generate? The first question I ask is, where have you got that $500,000? If it's in yet to be taxed IRAs or 401ks invested in the market, and you follow the advice of the financial services industry, they're only going to want you to pull out 4% because the average retiree is only earning 3.5% because they buy and sell at the wrong times. If you were earning 9 because you didn't panic, you hung in there, you're only netting 6. And so do the math. 4% on 500,000 is what? 20,000 a year before tax. After tax, you only might be netting 15,000. That's all that will generate if you don't want to deplete your nest egg. If you have $1 million nest egg, a 4% payout is 40,000 a year. After tax, you're netting 30,000. If that's not enough, you've got to get a higher rate of return and you've got to convert to tax-free. This is a no-brainer. If you had $1 million nest egg and you're pulling out 4%, you're netting probably 3% or 30,000. If you bought and held and you didn't panic in the market and you're earning 9, because Dalbar says the average person should earn 9.14, that means on $1 million nest egg, you could pull out 90,000 a year, but you're only netting 60,000 to buy gas and groceries, which is 5,000 a month. But if in 7.2 years at 10% inflation, you now need 10,000 a month to buy the same gallons of gas and loaves of bread that 5,000 a month used to buy, your nest egg will run out before your LE, your life expectancy. So the point of this episode is when people ask the question, how much will $500,000 or $1 million generate in income? Well, that all depends. Where have you got it? If you've got it where most Americans have it, in yet to be taxed IRAs or 401ks in the market, you better plan on only pulling out between 4%, no more than 9% a year, but you're only going to net about 2/3 of that in actual net spendable income. If that doesn't cut it, we need to do some serious planning. We need to make yourself immune from taxes, inflation, and market volatility so that $1 million nest egg will generate a 10% payout, $100,000 a year, totally tax-free. And that if inflation goes to 10, you'll earn 15. If inflation goes to 15, you'll earn 20. And you wouldn't believe how many advisors don't know how to link your returns to the things that inflate. This is why in the year 2020 to 2021, many of our clients locked in gains of 25% and even 61% when inflation was around 15%, the real rate of inflation. So if this is intriguing you, the question isn't how long can 500,000 last or how much can it generate? Well, it can generate double or triple what it would generate if you left it in IRAs or 401ks invested in the market and you have to pay tax. You want to do a strategic rollout, get the taxes over and done with, convert to tax-free. That will save you a ton the rest of your life. And you want to make yourself immune from market volatility and have tax-free income that's linked to inflation so that when we experience inflation, it doesn't hurt you, it actually helps you. You may not understand how that all works, but I'm going to show you how you can learn more. So the answer to the question, how much will your nest egg generate, is based upon let's increase the rate of return to 8 or 10% instead of the pathetic 4 to 6% net rates of return out of IRAs or 401ks. I want to gift you a copy of my most recent best-selling book that will empower you. Now, it's a 300-page book jam-packed with charts, graphs, explanations, and 62 actual client stories. It's actually 2 books in one. This side is the left brain side with all the charts and graphs. This side is the right brain side with all the stories. If you want to use your whole brain, you can read both of these books. But you can go to Amazon and purchase it for $20. If you do, thank you. But I'll gift you a copy. You simply go to laserfund, L-A-S-E-R, fund.com, or click on the link below. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost, and I'll pay for the book. I'll fire out a copy to you, and also check out if you would like to also listen and learn or watch and learn videos. Also, we have online free webinars we do on a regular basis. You can even schedule a time to talk to an IUL specialist to see illustrations at no cost or obligation of how a properly structured indexed universal life insurance portfolio can far outperform where you have your money in IRAs or 401ks yet to be taxed invested in the market. I would recommend you do a serious consideration of rolling out some or all of that money in what is called a strategic rollout. You will read stories and see illustrations of those scenarios in the book. So this is to your brighter future.